Hello, this is Mark Schreiber here for Demco, wanting to help you unpack the Mr. Maker activities. As all of these, we have broken these into 4 different styles of activities, starting with a very structured activity that will help students to succeed with a limited amount of knowledge, prior knowledge, and also a limited tool set that they have to learn. As we move further, we start to give them a little more freedom in how they're going to create. And what that does is it helps them kind of have their hand held a little while as they're working through how to be innovative. So the second style is more of a controlled activity. So we've given a little more space, have them pick a platform. And then the third one would be a guided activity where we're kind of standing back, we're guiding them a little bit more, but we're not giving them as many hints or as many specific tutorial steps on how to do it. And then the final one would be a student driven. Now with this, with Mr. Maker is a real fun one to do as all 4 if you can. You can jump in level 1 or level 2 or level 3 if you like, but this one, because it has such a storyline and narrative, it's a fun way to kind of bring students into it. So with the first one, what you'll do is you'll get all your materials, you get some glue sticks, some scissors, vocab, words printed out beforehand, index cards, and then they're going to walk through basically 3 different steps. The first step is going to be to explore and learn. That's the vocab side of things. That's reading the letter from Mr. Maker, where he talks about how he's been working in this great office and he's been there for 15 years, but he's on the 4th floor and his windows are getting dirty and he needs some help cleaning his windows. And as they start to learn about some of those vocab, you know, what a scaffold is, what a facade is, what a lift is, they're going to start deciding, hey, how can I solve this problem? Right then, without anything else, we jump in and get them to build, because kids really just love to get their hands going quick. And if you can get them into that, you're going to hook them in and they're going to start to learn faster through there. So we've picked a platform for them. We've picked Connects, because it's an easy one to get going with. And as they start building some representation, maybe they have this thing that spins around and washes the windows like a car wash, or maybe this whole thing slides up and down. You know, it really depends on how they solve it. Maybe instead of a representation, they build the building. And then they build a little tiny squeegee and they show you how they're gonna do it from the really long pole from the 4th floor. Everything is fine. It's how are they going to solve it? That's the whole point. It's gonna be different from one group to another, and it should be. So they've got their 3 steps. They explore and they learn, they jump and they create, and then you have some time to reflect. And this could all be done in 45 minutes to an hour. You could take a little longer if you'd like to. The second one, when you move into, is Mr. Maker. He's moved now. He's been successful, and now he's at a 24-story building. And the kids are going to need some time to plan to figure this out. So you read the letter, and we've added 2 more steps in this more controlled level 2 activity. The first step is plan. The second step is pick. So what choice, what object, are they going to use Connects again because they know them, or are they going to use some other platform like Legos or Strictly Bricks, or maybe even Kiva planks? What are they going to use? So as they plan, they figure out what type of platform, what type of tools are going to be best helpful for solving their problem, and then they jump in and they jump back into the same 3 steps: the explore, create, and reflect. And there's lots of integration points in here, extensions, going in, research in the background. There's some English and history tie-ins that you can look at in there too. You know, the third one is a great one. It's a guided activity, and we've only added 1 more step to there. It's actually the last step, which is really connecting. So students will plan, pick, explore, create, reflect, and then they're going to connect. And that connect is a real impact. So how do we make an impact with this? Mr. Maker's letter to them this time is, hey, I'm on vacation, I'm in Dubai, and I'm on the world's tallest building, and these windows are crazy tall. How are we going to get them all clean? So same thing, you add some more vocab in, you add some more, you know, what's a Boston chair, what's a boom? How do you get people up that high on a building to clean windows? And you start to plan and research and dig into that. So that's the third style, the guided activity. And the final one is that student open-ended activity. Student open-ended activity is, we've really added 1 more step to there, and that's after they've kind of got the idea of what it is, they need to interview. And that's the beginning of the design thinking process, and that's the empathy piece, right? So why are we building what we're building? Are we building it just because the teacher told us to? No, at this point, we should be building it because we want to solve a problem in the world that really is a problem, and we need to gain understanding and empathy of that. So this one is not actually build a contraption that'll clean windows, as much as what is Mr. Maker's next mission? Is it going to be a jungle zipline? Is it going to be a gondola that has windows that need to be cleaned? Where is Mr. Maker and what is his problem? And getting the kids to really think about that. This could be a very long project if you wanted to, or it could be a very short one. You know, all these together, you can go from one to the next, straight across. You could do some in the library, you could do some out of the library. It really depends how you want to jump into these. Preferably, we like starting with option 1, moving to level 2, moving to level 3, and then 4 if you have time. But once again, you can enter, exit at any point. So that's Mr. Maker's activity set from Demco, and I hope you enjoy it.